Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Come to you live from our comfy couch here in the outskirts units, the Gaming Saloon reviews for March 16th, 2025 for Joe Space Speaker 248 and Ramp It Up Salon.
Hi.
It's now one of our two post-series V cinemas because the two of them have to go together because they're too short. That's what I get for not checking time codes.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
For reference, what we're reviewing tonight, which is the Chase V Cinema, is an hour and a half long. The Heart and Mach ones are about an hour apiece. So we'll be doing those together in 2 weeks. But we are doing Drive Saga Kamen Rider Chaser. It came out April 20th, 2016, written by Riku Sancho, directed by Hidenori Ishida. Do you have any thoughts going into this?
Not really, because I vaguely remembered it.
I just remember Chase got a gold evolution, and then I forgot who shows up in this V Cinema for a completely unrelated plot point.
Yeah, same.
And apparently is the first person to show back up for a V Cinema from a previous show, and he gets to do that twice in a row, basically, because he also is the only person to show up again in Geo's V Cinema, which is one of those. I guess you just wanted to come back. Yeah, and I guess
to
anything.
be fair, one of the better cameos kind of deal.
I mean, it works. I like the interaction. It was probably the best part of this movie, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
Because I know when I was watching it, I'm like, I know I'm checked out. I am checking other stuff while this is happening. Because I'm like, villain is spouting their bullshit again. Chase is doing shenanigans. I don't care. I am bored. Where is anything of value? Oh, it happens in the last like half hour.
I think what aggravates me more than anything coming out of this one, though, is, and this really doesn't spoil anything, but is the last forcibly inserted scene into it where Bono basically saying that man failed to try again.
Yeah, because
it's one of those. No, this is not your plan here.
Yeah, because this V-Cinema takes place directly after Surprise Future, and before like the next episode.
But I mean, this man having the audacity to be like, "Oh yeah, my plan of trying to get this one droid mute to cause world peace failed, so now I'm gonna try again." No, this had nothing to do with you, sir.
Oh, Charizard's modded Cyber Sleuth. Nice. I know there's a randomizer for that someone's made. A part of me would like to get the PC version just to mod it, since I've done too much on console version of that game. But I also can just wait for the new one to come out. But yeah, also then he mentioned it's like, Crim's belt got swapped out. That self-destruct's not going to work. Fuck it, oh well, I guess. Oh, it's on sale for $10. Is it $10 with Hacker's Memory, or is it $10 solo? Or wait, no, it's a complete edition. That is with Hacker Memory. Never mind. That's both of them. That is actually a really good deal, since Hacker's Memory is basically an expansion. But yeah, I was so checked out every time this villain just started spouting their nonsense. I'm like, do you have only like 6 lines? I swear you've said these 6 lines already. I swear you're repeating dialogue at this point. Help. Are you broken? Are you busted? Is that why your voice goes craggly in the middle of this V cinema for no reason? I don't know why. I just didn't care for this villain. This villain sucked. But I guess any other thoughts before we hit a recap?
I think we could have done Chase's story differently, kind of deal.
Not have it tied to some random lady that he saved at the start of this movie?
No, I could even see that part of it. Not having this whole obvious slap you in the face obvious kind of deal. So this Roidmude's promising Chase everything he wants for. That's totally not gonna blow up in his face.
And also, it would help if Chase was not cranked to 11. Like, if he was just
on which
ever
side
so,
of it?
like when he has emotions, like if he was just like a little bit more emotive, not. I'm doing a completely different voice now, and I am basically an entirely different character now. Like dial it back from there.
Like, I could have maybe... Truthfully, I could have maybe seen removing the Roidmude altogether. And you know how they could have done it? Which we'll get to the scene that they could have done it at. When he goes and asks for emotions. If it wasn't both Rena and Krim together at that point. Could he have talked Rena into actually doing that?
Yeah, because they're both, for some reason, extremely excited and entirely distracted by a fucking solar eclipse. Like, they are way too excited for this solar eclipse.
That one scene change right there could have done. Because obviously Krim's not gonna buck from it.
No, because he's like, this is a terrible idea. I know exactly what's going to happen.
But that would be interesting to see the mad scientist part of Rena come out just for a little bit there to take that as a challenge to try to give him a motive.
Yeah.
Which then we could have had the rest of Chase's turned up to 11 because malfunction and everything else would have made more sense.
Yeah, if we're gonna play Chase for comedy when he has emotions, don't make it tied to the serious part of this movie.
I feel like that's where the problem stems out. That one simple change could have been enough to have made that better, and then we could have just replaced the Roidmude with, I don't know, maybe the one that kind of, had the one that 2 different Roidmudes copied the same body, have the parallel between, the fact that Kamari Go and our repeat rider, because I don't think we actually said
our returning rider that we have not mentioned by name, because I was just going to wait for the scene to introduce them.
But have them 3 fighting this one version, and then him fighting the other one that he clearly already has a past with, and would have made more sense.
Yeah, I've blown you up twice and it didn't take. This time it will take.
It's one of those, you could have done that so many different ways there.
But shall we hit the recap then?
Yep.
All right, kick off. We flash back to Chase as Proto Zero up on a cross in a void as Crim's like, hey, shit went down. The Roid Mutes are rebelling. You want to be a rider? Because I'm just a belt now. I need help. And Chase.
We also get the comment of his perfect justice programming.
Yeah.
Which, looking back at that one, especially now after doing the rewatch, why do I feel like that's foreshadowing the returning rider?
It makes sense, to be honest. Also, completely different voice actor for Chase for this scene until we find out that Chase copied the officer later when he was Chaser and then got his normal voice.
The out of uniform officer, so that makes the ending scene even better because that means that Chase didn't realize he copied a police officer.
That would not. Yeah. Attaboy, Chase. But then it feels like we basically get a recap of Chase's story throughout the show of like, up here is when he was prototype, and here is when he got murked by Hart and then got turned into Machine Chaser via the recorded footage that we're not showing full screen. We're showing it in the context of the episode it was in. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's like we got the greatest hit.
Basically up to where we are, which, like I said, we are right after Surprise Future and before the next episode for Surprise Future.
Which means we've pretty much gotten to see most of Chase's arc. Because there's not a whole lot left after that.
It's just him realizing, oh, I'm not in love with Kiriko. Tamari and Kiriko are best match. I will walk away from it. I'm okay. But yeah, we get to the present day with this, with Chase fighting number 51, who he has fought twice before. Once as Prototype and once as Machine Chaser, and now he's fighting as Rider Chaser. And unfortunately, there's a random lady at the bank that 51 was robbing. And as she's trying to run away and slow down, 51 shoots her twice. And so Chase has to go take care of her as Tamari and Go finally show up and give chase, and he has to go drop this girl off at the hospital.
Also, I want to point out something. Good on them for keeping track of which number it was that actually got blown up and pulled into Brain's iPad. But Brain sucks at his job. Because wasn't he supposed to recode him to where he wouldn't do that crap again?
Yes. That's kind of his job, and he's bad at it. I assume, because it's Riku Sanjo and Riku Sanjo's good about these details and stuff, I assume he had for writing drive a map out of what numbers are where at all times.
That, or at least had enough sense to go back and look at the footage.
Yeah, just be like, just checks those. Which one did I have Chase blow up twice? 51? Did I kill him in show? Confirmed. Checks notes again. Nope. Okay, cool. He's in the V cinema now. He is not one we blew up on screen at any time, and we did show at some point he blew up after this point. Nice. But the Roid Mute does get run off by some lady who shot a feather, who is a Roid Mute, who's like, Chase, I'm on your side. Bye. At the hospital, Chase talks to the girl, and basically gets kind of made fun of for being a just a plank of wood, because he doesn't have any emotions and he's all stoic and stuff. Her brother also shows up and adds to that. He somehow shreds his own license in his hand, which is impressive. Brandon, I also find it weird that Chase cares so much about why can't I have emotions? And I'm like, you weren't really struggling with this in show.
It was there as like an undertone.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time he was asking about different emotions, stuff like that I feel like that all led into the problem with that is a lot of that is after when this is supposed to take place.
Basically, yeah.
Meaning that he kind of reverted, I guess. Which I think is why the ending had to be the way it was.
Probably. It's like, oh, we gave progress to Chase. Oh, right, we have to undo that progress because he can't be that far in because the show won't make sense.
Yeah.
Reset.
Well, how can we do this? Oh, let's make the magical MacGuffin from the villain just erase everything that had happened within this movie.
Yeah, the magical thing that she just throws at him is like, here's your new form for the movie. Just has it. No other reason for having it, just has it.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Medic is busy in the library learning how to love and seduce people, I guess, so she can get hard. Brain is watching her because Brain's like, I'm on to you, also looking at notes.
Now, this is the only Medic scene that actually was useful within this movie. Because it ended up putting Brain in a spot where he was actually part of the story then.
Yeah.
The Medic scene later, that was some fan servicey crap. That's all that was. And no one can tell me otherwise.
She's trying to win over Heart. Of course she's going to dress like that.
I'm not talking about the ending scene.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No, the mid scene where she decides to break out in the song.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I blanked out on that one.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait.
It's like, why?
Look, we have an hour and a half to fill in this runtime. We are stretching for content as is, and it is clear.
I kind of understand why the other two are less time.
It took a half hour off the runtime.
What's bad is I still feel like those two were maybe more forgettable.
I remember the
beats of this one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really of the other two.
I remember the basics of the Heart one of Heart gets revived instead of Chase, but Brain and Medic are in his shift car. He tries to transform once. He goes to the Speed Wild technique. He transforms again later to fight this amalgamation of all the Roid mutes because the Roid mute has a number that is the sum of all the Roid mutes in the series. Becomes Rider Heart, blows it up, and then there's a joke by Heart, Brain, and Medic about Brain becoming the next Rider, which is the entire lead-in to the Brain little special. That also has Medic joke about being a Rider next, but they've never followed up on that. I don't remember dicking all about the Mach 1 besides Go gets haunted by Chase and fights some girl who's a serial killer. That is all I remember about the Mach 1. And also the waste of an upgrade he gets in that movie.
Which I think is more than I remembered from those two.
Fair enough. I think I only remember as much from the Heart one because there's at least a follow-up to it. There ain't dick and all follow-up to that Mach 1. And I think 90% of it relies on you having read the novel for you to care. Because it's a direct follow-up to the novel. The Heart one just exists on the side. Eh. Anywho, back in the movie, our female roid mute shows up and she's 99 and she's the dead angel, I believe. Yeah, she's Angel because she has achieved super evolution. She has a gold form
that we don't get to see until the end.
Basically. Her power is I can brainwash people, basically. Like, she can steal numbers and suck them into her, and they live in, like, a pseudo-paradise while she gets to, like, use the bodies as puppets. Because of her feathers. She eventually is able to do this to humans, and she's like, if I pull everybody into me and they live in paradise, then the world will be perfect. Because something, the person I copied who was a psychology person or something, I don't know. I blanked out every time she fucking repeated her backstory.
Also, I want to point out the fact that this is the only golden evolution that we don't get to see the base form.
Yep. Although, considering all of the other ones we've seen, it is basically her suit in not gold colors. Because that's all the other ones have been.
Yeah, but Heart and Brain both actually had good coloring for theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those that kind of makes you wonder, would hers be more along the lines of how Medic's was or not?
Probably because Heart pulls the parallel with her and it's just like, no. No, you are trying to be Medic and there is only one Medic, and so no.
I also love the fact that we actually get to see Face's gold form before we see our villains.
Yep. But back in the movie, Chase decides to go to Krim and Rena, who are on a rooftop, being very excited for comedic purposes, I guess, about a solar eclipse. And he's like, I would like emotions. And Krim's like, that's a terrible idea. That will go wrong. And Rena's like, I agree with Krim. I'm busy. And so that doesn't happen. And basically goes nowhere.
And that is the point. The movie should have pivoted. Hard pivoted.
Yep. Chase heads out. He gets a feather from Angel, and she's like, use this and you'll get human emotions. And is this when she pulls him into her office? And yes, this is when he pulls her into the office for not sex time, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if I'm remembering the Heart one or not, because I'm like, someone is very much more than shirtless in one of these two. Chase is shirtless a lot in this one because gotta appeal to the female audience and some of the male audience and some of the folks in between. Fair enough. I won't say no. But also, they really want Chase shirtless in this. Because is it like 2 or 3 separate occasions that Chase takes his jacket off? 3, actually. Yeah, 3. No, it's 3. Yeah, it's 3. Because it's like, it's here, it's later when he's like, look, I got the feather thing that gives me emotions. I'm cool. And then it's later when he rips the damn thing out.
Yeah.
But yeah, this leads to Tamarigo, Kiriko, and Krim drinking various liquids, because then Chase shows up being all joyful and happy and over the top, and everyone does a spit take on it into Go's face. Poor Go, who like absolutely has none of this and just walks out while everyone else is stunned. Also, an interesting little note: we've established that Krim can't eat food, right?
Yep.
But apparently he can inhale fluids.
Apparently.
All right, sure. It's for the joke. It's for the joke.
Did we really need 3 people doing a spit take?
Yeah. Yes. We look. We need to spend like 3 to 4 minutes on this scene because, again, we have an hour and a half to fill. We have to stall at times. Anyway, Chase heads out to the girl and like gives the kid some new shoes and like goes plays basketball with him and stuff. And oh look, she's happy Dory. But then Kiriko calls in being like, Chase, we have a situation. We have a roid mute who's unfortunately been found on a city line between Tokyo and Fudo. And this is where we see Teruya show back up. He's the one running the case on the Futo and is like, this guy was found with a guide memory. This is my case. Piss off. And like Tamari and Go are incredibly scared from him and are like, I mean, it's a right mute. It's our jurisdiction. I do love how just scared Tamari and Go are of Teruya right off the bat. Because it plays into what happens later. But apparently the roid mute used the Gaia memory, which is the beast one, which weirdly enough, that's the specific roid mute from the Double Extreme debut. Because I actually remember that. So technically it is a Dopant that kicked Teruya's ass. But yeah, that's where Tamari and Go and Kiriko are going to be for the rest of this movie because they're busy doing that. Over the chase, he's with the siblings when 51 shows back up. He tries to go Rider Chaser. He can't because the feather has changed his programming so his belt doesn't work. I do love how Krem's like, transform in the proto drive. And I love that the wiki pointed out
the exact same thing.
Well, the wiki also pointed out a valid point. Chase doesn't have the wrist holder. Tamari has that at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, he can put Krem on. He doesn't have the thing to slot the shift cars into. So he can't transform. He would only have half the things to be able to transform, unless Krim can kind of override that and do what Bono does.
Maybe, and I only say that because of the fact of we do know Bono made the driver based off of Krim's.
Yeah.
So that could be a potential. And that would also then... I guess that would also then explain how Trideron works, too.
Yeah.
So I
this
guess
is when Angel
that
shows
could
up
be
and...
possible, but it still wouldn't work because, I mean, we have proven you have to have a certain physiology to be able to turn into drive. If it's changed for the mock driver, then it's probably changed for Krim too.
Yeah, because Kiriko can't become drive even though she could technically transform for 0.2 seconds until the tire knocks her out of it. Thanks, show. It's like the entire reason Kiriko is not lead in this show. Because otherwise she would be the fucking lead in this show. Why would we need Tamari if Kiriko can become drive? Anywho, Angel shows up with a new viral core. It's the Rhino Super Viral Core. It is basically a redone version of Lupin's like shift car. Instead of a blade going up, it's a blade that goes out. I don't know why it does. It just does.
To be different.
Yeah. I guess because we already have basically two versions of the brake gun that have a blade going up. It's just like, we can't do 3 versions of this with the blade going up. We have to at least attempt something different. So the blade goes out now. But yeah, Chase uses it, turns into Super Machine Chaser, which is just a gold version of Machine Chaser with different shoulder pads. Like, it's still primarily black. It's just all the purple now is gold. So he's basically a super evolved version of himself, which would technically mean at this point in the movie we have our promised number of roid mutes.
Uh-huh.
But Bono doesn't do anything about that, I guess.
Well, they're not all four working together.
True.
But, you know, also to note, if Bono had stepped in at any given point, then, you know, he still would have had the four.
Yeah.
Because he could have became the fourth.
Mm-hmm. I assume it was just a case of, I ain't fucking with this. I'll let them sort it out, and then I'll deal with it later.
Or it's a case of literally shoehorned in at the end of the movie just because, oh crap, we forgot about him.
Yep. Yeah, Chase basically mops the floor with 51 and kills him.
Which is also the first and I think only time that we see the Machine Chaser form destroy a core.
Yes. Because he was programmed not to.
So.
But then Angel shows up, shows her true colors, and Heart's like, fuck this. I don't agree with this. And Brain, who has switched sides for all of 2 seconds until he's went like, oh, fuck no, I don't want any part of this. Heart, you and me, we're going to do this together, and immediately get swamped. And then Chase shows up. Chase transforms, tries to help, immediately gets demolished, and then Brain has to like decoy the three of them to run away.
Which is yet another point of, you know, if Mono was any point of this, then the whole them all escaping his destruction of them wouldn't have been a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's so much of this that it's like, yeah, he had 0 parts in it. That was unneeded at the end of it.
Mm-hmm. He could have been just busy elsewhere and just not appearing in this V cinema.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Chase, Brain, and Heart have a heart to heart about all this, and the Chase eventually decides to change his mind and decides to go after Angel. Meanwhile, we find out that the Roid Mute was a different Roid Mute, but copied the same person, and now Tamarigo and eventually Terry had to fight him after he transforms into the Beast Dopont. Again, I still love that they keep consistent about the engine blade is like 50 tons, and it takes everything Terry has to swing the damn thing. But when he does, it hurts like shit.
And I also love the fact that you can tell he's been working with it because he holds it one-handed while he transforms.
Yep.
Something I don't think we ever saw in the show. I think he always kind of propped it.
He either propped it or he like stuck it in the ground and then like yanked it out after he transformed.
Because I actually don't think we ever saw him one-handed, so.
But yeah, the three of them fight the Dopont Roid Mute, blow it up, and then he's like, "Go help your friend." Don't know. I don't think it does. This is summary mention it. No. So I'll mention it here. I think after they leave, Terry gets called by Akiko, basically just being like, "Hey, remember your groceries list and stuff." And then he talks to his daughter, and I'm like, "This is adorable, and I love this." And here's a reason why I despise Gio with a burning passion of 1,000 suns, because they took this away from him. They fucked up his history and took away his daughter. Because if Terry is not a writer, then he doesn't meet Akiko, and then by extension, he does not have his kid. I don't care what bullshit logic they throw at me. No, you have fucked with his history and you have taken away his kid. Burn. Anywho. Angel absorbs heart and like a bunch of other roid mute cores. Chase gives Chase to a beach as a Go and Tamari give him cover. And then Chase fights her as Super Machine Chaser and basically beats the shit out of her. She does try to cancel his transformation, but he's like, oh, well, in that case, I'm just going to rip the damn thing out. Thanks for giving me a viral cord with a knife on it. I need that. It just opens his shirt just to carve it out of him. And so he's just covered in blood to transform again. This time into Rider Chaser. And he continues to beat the shit out of her and then, like, shoots the knife from the viral core into her before Rider kicking her. Like, again, Chase gets through full fun, cool action scene stuff. That's what he's good at. And then Chase rides off on the beach and then walks away on the same part of the beach after walking to it to ride his motorcycle for the credits. It's like, well, he's been reset. We just won't talk to him about it. And that's the V Cinema. How do you feel about this?
I still stand by the fact that if they could have changed one thing and kept most of this premise, and it still would have been fine. The roid mute plot of.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is like a good chunk of the runtime.
Yeah.
I reminded once again, wow, V cinemas are big old hit and miss. Sometimes they're decent, sometimes they're not good. This at least is on the decent end of things.
Yeah. But that's the bad thing. None of these are just good kind of deal. They're decent at best.
Yeah. I wonder if part of that's just because it's like, by this point, like, we've kind of burned all of our ideas. We don't really have anything left besides just, we need an excuse to sell an extra toy. And so we just throw something against the wall just to sell the extra toy.
Maybe, but I don't know. Because I think you can do stuff like what we got with this one. You've just got to be careful of how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
If we removed the whole plot with 99 kind of deal and modified how that was, most of the beats could have still played out the same and it probably would have wound up being a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, I'm like, I think there's ways this one could have been good in just how it is, because we do have a lot of downtime between episodes of Drive.
Yeah.
There is time where you could have in the middle of the season stuff going on.
And we have probably like a dozen or so roid mutes that were basically murked off screen.
Yeah. So, I mean, this could fully explain those. Do I think all shows have that same capability? No. Some of them flow too smooth together to even be able to do that. But I feel like with Drive, the cinema stuff, we could have gotten a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
We could have had something more akin to how a two-parter would. and have it a chase focused 2-parter. And I say it that way because, I mean, if you treated it like writing it for episodes of the show, it probably would work out better.
Yeah, instead of being written as like one long ass movie that really didn't need to be an hour and 30 minutes for what they had.
We could have easily trimmed this down to an hour movie. And it probably would have been able to float better because it could have followed the pattern of how the show does.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess that is it. I guess in 2 weeks, we're covering Heart and Mock at the same time, which means we're almost done with Drive. Which means I think all of Rampant Gaming for 2023 will go out this week once I schedule it, and then all of next week in terms of the days I'm uploading backlog will be all of the Drive episodes. So you can have all of Drive and marathon it all before we talk about these TV cinemas. But between now and then, Thursday I'm continuing CAD. Friday is routing for Ratchet and Clank.
Yep.
We're gonna finish the last like the last 2 planets, I think.
Whatever consists of the last 4 splits.
Okay.
I don't know if that
we're almost
100% lays out the same way or not.
Yeah. I know we're really close to the end because I'm like, oh, we're on the planet that's like, oh yeah, lightning storm. You know all those Clank abilities you'll have? Say bye-bye. You don't get them for this entire planet. Hope you like movement from the start of the game.
Meh.
And then I think there should be just one more planet, which is actually going back to Velden. Because we go full circle and go back to Velden to fight the final boss and stuff. I don't think there's anything between those two. I don't think. I might be wrong. But yeah, that's Friday. Saturday, we'll be attempting a proper run. We'll see how it goes. From how we've routed out how we're doing it. And then next Sunday will be TGS, where we'll talk about a Silent Hill Direct and the other stuff. Look, we're stalling until like the Nintendo Direct, which I look at the calendar and realize, God damn it, our next TGS after that will be before it.
But then we've got one right after it.
Yeah. I was just like, God damn it. At least it's like a week before it. And not like the week of. For once. I know one of the Twitter accounts I follow is counting down to it by having Mario slowly reveal himself from some ad or something. I don't remember what it is. But yeah, that is the week ahead, folks. So if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Exclamation point YouTube and chat gets you the YouTube archive where this and all of our other stuff will be up eventually for you to watch. It'll take a while for the backlog, but our stuff right now is up on Mondays. Exclamation point social and chat gives you the handles for all of our social media, so you know when we go live. And exclamation point Discord and chat gives you this link. Drop by, say hi, and we'll see you Thursday, folks.